Hello, everybody. I'm Steve Phillips with iWIN Real Estate, and thank you so much for joining us again for another bit of content on some topics that we're bringing to you. If you haven't yet followed the page, please do so. Follow the page, watch my other coaches and colleagues give you some very, very valuable information and get through the role. I think there's a lot of great content there. Now, today, my topic is 5 beginner investor fears. Now, this topic could be a wide range of different things, and everybody has to start somewhere. I know when I made my very first investment in real estate, I was 24 years old. I was just about to get married. I was with my young wife and myself, and we bought a pre-construction condo. And 6.5 years later, after many delays and everything under the sun, we finally closed on that condo. Now, for 6.5 years, every time I saw any friend, family member, or even a person who had heard that I had bought this condo, I had them come up to me and be like, hey, how's that condo project going? I can't tell you how hard it was to deal with those 6.5 years as a young investor. But from that experience, I think I've got a great list of some fears that other investors that I know have brought forward, and I hope to help you with them today. So, number one is the fear of failure. I think everybody has an underlying fear of failure, and it doesn't matter how old you are, nobody wants to fail. And when you get into real estate investing, there's always going to be this fear with big money on the table that you're going to make a massive mistake and you're going to fail and you're going to be the laughing stock and all of these crazy ideas and stories that we create in our own head. And I think fear of failure is really just something we can control by going through the outcomes and what we're ultimately going for. What is our long-term goal? Because then there is no failure. All we are doing is learning. Some very wise people in this industry have always said, you're going to pay for your education one way or another. And if you make mistakes, well, you're going to pay for it, but you're going to learn something from it. So don't ever be afraid of failing, because there's so much good lessons and good things that come from it if we're willing to pay attention and if we're really getting into the understanding of what we're trying to accomplish long term. The second thing on my list is a fear of missing out. I think the term would be FOMO, right? Everybody has a fear of missing out on the next big deal, the one that could make me rich. And you get distracted with FOMO. You start looking around at what everybody else is doing, and this fear of missing out has you in a state of no focus, non-focused. You're looking everywhere. Is it rent to owns? Is it flips? Is it burrs? What is that thing over there? What is that thing over there? Fear of missing out can cause you a great loss in progress. So you need to really get into it. Pick a lane, pick the lane you want to learn in and learn that lane and take it all the way till its end until you feel comfortable. And maybe, along the way, while other people are doing this or this or this, you're knowing that you're going ahead with a BRRRR strategy. You're going ahead with duplexes. This is how you're going to get to your goals. And then the rest of the noise really doesn't matter. And you can eliminate the fear of missing out by just being focused on what you want to accomplish with your real estate journey and your goals. Number 3, fear of judgment. Now, for a lot of you or a lot of people, I know with me, it's all about who is judging you, right? And maybe nobody's afraid of, maybe you're not afraid of anybody's judgment. That's altogether possible too. But there are a lot of people in this world that are afraid of being judged and afraid of, doing, I guess, tied into number 1, fear of failure, which leads to this judgment. Judgment is ego. If you are feeling that somebody else is judging you, I think it's mostly in your own ego. And I think if you work on yourself, do a lot of self-help courses and programs and just get online and find these things, really develop who you are as a person, then you'll get over the fear of what other people think of you. There's always a great saying I think about, which is, what other people think of me is none of my business. A fear of judgment is something that all of us can control and all of us can get over. And it doesn't really matter what the outcomes are, because you're in control of how you feel about what you're going through and why you're doing this. Nobody else knows, you know. So just go through that and don't be afraid of what the world's saying. they're not, the reality is they're probably not talking about you. They're not talking about me. They're not talking about anything. They're worried about themselves, right? And there's a lot of things going on in the world that are distracting. So don't worry about the judgment. It's probably a made up story in your head. Number 4, analysis paralysis. I don't even know if this is a fear, but I know that it's tied into fear. I think that everybody has got this like perfect picture. Well, when this happens, I'll take action. Or when this happens, I'll take action. Or when I get the numbers just exactly right, that's when I'll take action. And all that does is build up an excuse in your mind to not take action. And so you get this analysis paralysis where you just keep looking at deals over and over and over again, which if you're doing them to learn is healthy. But if you're doing it to avoid taking action because of you're afraid of the results or the outcome, then that's not healthy. You have to get over that fear. And so analysis paralysis is the term. It's a catchy term. You hear it all the time, but I really think that it's rooted in fear. And you just need to identify that that's what you're doing. You're looking for the very perfect time to jump into the skipping rope, hopscotch or what is it? Double Dutch. You're waiting to get into the ropes. You're trying to get in and you're waiting. You just never do it. So analysis paralysis is always rooted in fear. Weed it out, get rid of it, and move on and take some action. The fifth goal that I've got, or the fifth fear that I've got, pardon me, is the fear of going all alone. The fear of going at it all by yourself. And that's just not true. There are so many groups. iWIN is an example. There are so many groups of people that are trying to help you, that are trying to get you through this, that are so generous with their knowledge and their time and their experience. But you just have to take the initiative in finding out how you can get to that knowledge. Nobody gives it away for free, right? So they're going to do something, either whether it's by giving up your services or helping somebody or just being generous with your knowledge of something else. You're never going at it alone. I think you have to keep in mind that we're all in this together and we're trying to accomplish a goal, and somebody out there has already done what you're trying to do. So if you think that you have a fear that it's all me, it's all resting on my shoulders, if I don't do this, I'm in trouble, a lot of eyes, get out of that phase. You're not alone. There's lots of people out here to help you and coach you and guide you. And if you put up the effort and the energy and get involved and take action, you'll be surprised about how many people are actually rooting for your success. Now, those are 5 fears that I've come across in my time. You may have 5 more. I don't know. What's making you afraid? What's keeping you from taking action? Put it in the comments, put it below, send us a message. If you're out there, we look forward to speaking with you. Our coaches and team are here to help. And until then, we have an event coming up on March the 24th that we'd love you to attend. Go to the link, go down below, visit the website, book your seat if you can come in person. And if virtual is available, then by all accounts, come in by virtual. But we look forward to meeting with you. I know I do. I think I'm speaking about Belleville this week, this opportunity in March. So I look forward to speaking to you and with you. And I hope to see you very soon. Thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of your time.
Thank you for watching. If you want to learn how to invest in real estate from scratch, my team teaches beginners how to use the #1 investment strategy that I personally use in a virtual free training class every month. Go to InvestorTraining.ca/YouTube to register for our next class. That link's also in the description as well. I publish at least 2 to 3 videos a week here, so subscribe if you want to keep learning from seasoned investors like myself and my guests. And if you're just starting out, feel free to ask questions and comment below, and I do the best to answer each of those comments and questions myself. Again, if you're ready to learn the nitty-gritty about real estate investing from a professional investor, register for our next virtual class. That's at InvestorTraining.ca/YouTube. Thanks again for watching. See you in the next video.